Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Robinson and I'm here talking to you about the latest movie that Fox Searchlight has just picked up, The Wrestler. Fox Searchlight just bought this movie from the Toronto Film Festival for about $4 million. Let me just give you a couple facts about this movie. It was directed by Darren Aronofsky. His name is at the bottom of the screen if you want to know how to spell it. But he is known for directing Requiem for a Dream, Pi, and unfortunately The Fountain, which was critically smashed and didn't do very well at the box office. It was just a terrible movie, and this is seen by many, his latest film, The Wrestler, as kind of an apology for The Fountain, which was more just like a visual fanfare with no real substance. It was a terrible movie. I seen it, it was awful. I couldn't get into it. So, this is something that I've gotten off pwsforums.com, and this was a report that I thought you should know about, some facts about The Wrestler. The Wrestler stars Mickey Rourke and Marisa Tomei. Now, Mickey Rourke has been out of the film business somewhat, at least the spotlight, for a long time. And you can argue Marisa Tomei, even though she was recently nominated for an Oscar for the movie In the Bedroom. However, they've both been kind of out of the spotlight, but Mickey Rourke especially. And this has been what many are calling his comeback film. He's been calling the comeback kid of the year with this piece. He's pretty much been out of the film business for about 12, 13 years. And this movie has a lot of buzz around it. Let me give you some quick facts about the plot of the movie The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke plays Sam the Ram Robinson. That's right, Sam the Ram Robinson. Think more like the Iron Sheik, Cactus Jack, Terry Funk, Jake Roberts, maybe a Tommy Dreamer type person. He was really big back in his heyday, and but now he's really faltering. He's only been able to do like little small indie shows and everything. He works at a supermarket during the weekends to earn a little extra money so he can keep living. I mean, he gets kicked out of his trailer though. He's really just having a bad day. Then he falls in love with a stripper named Cassidy, played by Marisa Tomei. Her real name is Pam. And she likes to quote, I'm told she likes to quote the Passion of the Christ movie because she thinks it's inspiring, which I think is a odd little quirky twist, but I think that's cool. So when he's wrestling a match against Hillbilly Cannibal and an East Coast hardcore wrestling show, which is obviously a homage to ECW, East Coast Wrestling, maybe even a little bit of CZW in there, he suffers a heart attack during the middle of the match. And so after he suffers this heart attack, he's given strict orders from his doctors: no smoking, no drugs, no wrestling as the main thing. And of course, this wouldn't be a movie unless he eventually decides, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to try to give it one last shot. And so he refuses the doctor's orders and gets a match at a Fan Fest event in South Carolina. And it's against the Ayatollah, who's now 52 in this movie. The Ayatollah, the Iron Sheik type, who's now 52. Who Robinson fought 20 years ago at the 1988 WrestleSlam 4, which is supposed to be like WrestleMania. And this isn't like a huge event anymore. This is more of a small little indie fanfare thing. A little bit bigger on the indie scene, but it's still pretty small. And it's pretty much it's suicide for him to go into this match because of his condition. But he wants that one last feeling of glory and pride and to walk out there to the fans again. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen with this movie? What's going to happen with him and Pam? What's going to happen with this match? It's a movie that has been getting so much buzz, critical buzz. At the Venice Film Festival, it took top honor, the Golden Lion, which is like basically winning like the best picture at that film festival. And because of that, Mickey Rourke wasn't able to get the best acting award because Venice Film Festival has this rule where if you win the Golden Lion, your actor can't win Best Actor. So, and the head of the Venice Film Festival said it was a shame they couldn't give it to Mickey Rourke. And a lot of people at the Toronto Film Festival, where it was recently bought by Fox Searchlight, have been saying that Mickey Rourke will probably get an Oscar nomination for this, which would be incredible. I think one, what makes this so cool is that it's giving a lot of credibility and bringing wrestling back into the mainstream of America. And it's showing that these people are real people and that these people have real lives and these people have sad stories. I think it's putting a lot of perspective on it. And I think it's really going to humanize the sport, especially after all the tragedy that's been involved with, in particular, the WWE with the Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. And I think this is really going to bring a lot of heart back to that business. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out once it gets released in the theaters. It'll be released in late December, and so it can be fresh in the minds of the Academy and hopefully get a few Oscar nominations. This movie isn't played like it's like kayfabe, as they say. This movie is played as wrestling really is. It's played with the fact that the matches are determined and that how they get in all the little tricks of wrestling and how they get in, like, you know, blading people so they bleed and stuff. And, you know, so this movie treats it very, very realistically. And yes, the plot, you know, is kind of generic. Oh, washed-up superstar wants to have one more chance. But the great thing about formula movies is if done really well, even if the story is done, even if the basic plot line is familiar to people, they still understand, and when they put in new stuff and a new spin on it or perspective, it has a bigger impact. Now, since this movie deals so much with drug abuse and alcohol and, you know, all this sex, it's unlikely that someone like the WWE or TNA will sponsor this movie and put commercials for it in its show, which I hope they are able to get past that and advertise this movie, because I think it's an important movie that for wrestling fans to see, since it's taking such an in-depth look, even though it's fictionalized. It's taking such a what's the word I'm looking for? Since it's taking such a look at what happens to those wrestlers who aren't Hulk Hogan, who aren't The Rock, who aren't Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, people like after their glory years are over, what do they have to do? What's left for them? What's their lives like? So I'm going to leave you with a few pictures from the wrestler, a few screenshots from Darren Aronofsky's filmed wrestler, and I'm also going to leave you with some reviews that I've typed up and put up for here. Please leave comments. Please, please rate, subscribe as always. I'll be updating you more on this movie as I get more information. In the meantime, remember, it's all in the hair.